Okay, just a commentary on my part for about being early and taking report early or giving report early. Either way you want to slice it, you're going to be both. Or you can be both, let's say that. More and more nurses in our unit are kind of accepting to that concept. Usually, by and large, they start at 7, right at 7. 7:05, 7:01, 7 o'clock. It's what I've always seen, even when I was a tech. And lately, I have seen it different. I like to think it was because of my influence, because there's a number of nurses that have come to me, and when they see me, they say, "Hey, Ray, you want to start?" 6:45, 6:50, and I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Just now, I had the other old man of the unit say to me, "Yeah, we could start early." It behooves them to start the day shift early because then they get ahead on their prandials, their insulins and coverages and all that. Otherwise, by the time you finish, it's 8 o'clock sometimes. If it's a long report, if you got like 6-7 patients, or there's a lot to go across. But even if you did it quickly, it's 7:30. I mean, you got to hit the ground running at that point. But for him and me, we finished at literally 7:05 because he started at 6:50. He said, "Nah." We were joking around at 6:30. He comes in early. He comes in an hour early also. At 6:30, he was like, "You want to give me a report?" I said, "Yeah, I'm ready." He's like, "No, I just walked in." I was like, "Yeah, but you said it. Whenever you're ready." Actually, I did some other work with the techs, some cleanups, and then I went back and it was catching up, and then he said, "Okay, let's do a report." Actually, I was still doing some charting at the time. But I was like, "Okay, sure, no problem." And we were done in 15 minutes. It helps that he and I are on the same wavelength. He does a lot of his own research and reading of the notes and all that. And I've learned from him to do that also. So I'm prepared. So I'm asking the right questions, or I'm waiting for the stuff that's not on the notes, that's not in Epic, that's not on the charts. It's like, okay, what's your assessment? And that's what I tried to give him. I said, yeah. And I was like, I'm going over allergies and stuff. He's like, I don't care. I know that. And I was like, "Oh, I know. Okay. So I skip around to what he wants. I say, okay, this is what my assessment of their strengths. 504s or whatever. Favors this for whatever reason. They're lefties, but they like to use their right. That's what they claim. This one, I think there's a misdiagnosis or missing diagnosis, let's say that, of dementia or delirium or something like that. That's not on the chart that I had to put it in the chart. I said, read it. I put the note in. So it's more that stuff that he and I give across. Now that's just him and me. That's just our special little connection. It's not just him and me. There's a couple other nurses that we give good rapport and good report to then very quickly. There was a scenario where another nurse and I had 3 in a row together. Bang. And literally by the third day, I was like, "Oh, it's 7 o'clock, not 6:59. It was 7, right at 7, swiped out." Because it was like that. We were giving such good report to each other, and we had such a rapport. And since then, she's like, she adheres to that now. She's like, "Yeah, no. I give early report now to get it done. If they're willing to take report, I'm ready to give it at 6:50." She realized, just like my friend just today was saying, it gets the other nurse out right on time. She realized, like, if she gives report early, she gets out early. Why that's such a monumental or I'm like, why was that such an earth-shattering thought, you guys? I didn't understand it. It took someone from outside of nursing to bring that concept in to you guys, that's just my unit. I'm sure that is in other hospitals. But I found, not just our unit, but in our hospital, in our organization, most people drag their butts. They come stalking early, not early, I'm sorry, stalking like in my mind, I'm thinking like just trudging in, not stalking. I used the wrong word there. Trudging in at 6:59. You still got to take your notes. You can't take report until 7:15. It's ridiculous. It's not considerate, frankly, to the other nurse, whoever you're taking over. I mean, it happens now and then because of whatever reason, because you're late, you had to drop off your kids. I understand that. But when you're consistently like that, and it's not because of that, I was like, I was dropping off my kids at school. It's Sunday. I was like, what kind of bullshit are you telling us? Please. You're just late. You're perennially late, and you're perennially inconsiderate. When you're considerate, you're on time at the very least. If you're early, even better. And that's this concept that, my friends and I, we've been cultivating. Now I've got I don't want to say a small following, but a small cadre of nurses that we give a quick report. And people are like, you guys are done? It's like, yeah, we started early. It's not that it's not that we spend less time giving a report. Although my friend and I, we were a little quicker than most. But still, we still give 15 minutes, for 6 patients. And 2 of them were walkie-talkies, so, it wasn't, those go like that. But, we still give full report. Like, my other friend, even though it was so quick, it still took 10, 15 minutes for the 6 patients there, and they were higher acuity and what have you. But we start at 6:50 or 6:45 or 6:55 even a few minutes early. We're done quicker. I'm done. We're just, a lot of times nurses just lounge around the last few minutes waiting for the next shift to come in and take their notes, fill in their SBARs and get ready to settle in and drink their last sip of coffee and take a report. We're ready to go. Day or night shift, when your shift change occurs, we're ready to go. It'd be nice to start early and get you out early. Gets the other person to start their day early. And I think that's the thing. A lot of people don't want to start their day. They're like, I don't want to start working right. I said, why? Get it done. Get it ahead so your day is easier. The ones that start like an hour and a half late because of whatever reason, they had a hard shift and they end up staying a lot longer. I noticed that. A couple, and they're great nurses. Don't get me wrong. The couple nurses that I'm thinking about are very good nurses, very diligent, very cross the T's, dot the I's. But they always started an hour late because they were taking full report and are giving reports. So they ended up always being there 14, 15, 16 hours consistently. I mean, people are like, oh my God, I've got to give XYZ report, or I got to take report. They're like, oh, they start crying. I've seen a couple nurses start tearing up. They're like, I got to get out of here. And it's sad. It's sad. And I've noticed they since left the unit for other things, bigger and better things, actually. One of them became a nurse practitioner. One became an educator. One became, it's actually 3 people. Think about that. I just realized that my mind's a little blocky. They're good nurses, but that mode of thinking of just starting right on the dot is not good. If you can pass it along and let the other person get a head start or get out early, why not? That's my commentary, a long commentary. It took a while to get to it, but that's really what it is. It's like being considerate. I'm just shocked that it's such a novel concept. It shouldn't be. It's like somewhere else I was saying, like, be kind and considerate and polite. And I was like, you should be commended for that. That should be basic. But I do commend people and compliment people for that. But it's a shame that it has to be. It really should be like a basic thing, But I guess even for a basic thing, you should still compliment it. Just be nice. But It's just a shame that that's out of the norm, you know. Anyhow, I hope you guys incorporate being on time or being early even as part of your practice and stick to it, because a lot of people will be like, no. And like I said, it's been a long time. It took for me like over a year. Yeah, over a year of doing that consistently for a couple people to just win them over. And they're converts. They're like, yeah, I want to do this early. And it freaks other people out. But I think they've already convinced one or two other people, because the people I convinced have a lot more credibility than I do. You know, one's been there 20 years, the other's been there 12 years. You know, and they like, this is good. I said, yeah, it is good. Oh, I'm sorry, no, she's got 7 or 8 years. The other one's got 20 years. I think that's someone else. All right, anyway, let me end this video. I'm a little punchy. This is my second of 3. Good night, guys. Bye.